Greetings to everyone out there in YouTube land. I'm Ahmed Hassanin, and I just want to give a shout out to Coach Dan. Thank you for all the support you show the team and the players. Everyone hit the like, subscription button, and yell woo in the comments. Thank you, and go Lions.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Are you guys all ready for tomorrow? Hey, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Hey, it's Lions Talk Live. It's Saturday, the day before Game 2 of the Detroit Lions NFL season, and I think everybody in the Detroit Lions fan base is ready, salvaging, slaving, whatever you want to say. Hey, we're all chopping at the bit to get back on the football field, see this team go out there, and perhaps maybe do a little bit better than they did week 1 of the NFL season against Green Bay Packers. One could look at the Packers' first 2 games of the year and say, man, they look pretty good. Perhaps having played the Detroit Lions and then the Washington Commanders, 2 of the best teams in the NFC, maybe some fans and people in the media are overreacting to what happened with the Lions week 1 on the road in Green Bay against what appears to be a pretty good team. We're going to find out tomorrow when we play the Chicago Bears, because the Lions come out and put a big elbow drop on the Chicago Bears, get a 10, 14, 15, whatever it's going to take to make you feel real good about it, but get a significant victory. Does the Lions fan base calm down a little bit? Do we feel all right for the 50th year in a row? We're 1-1 to start the year, and last year we were 15-2. Did it really impact us going 1-1 last year? Hey, we'll find out what happens tomorrow. As you can tell from today's thumbnail, though, we've got a couple things to talk about. Yesterday, Kerby Joseph did pop up on the injury report. We'll dive into that during the main topic today. Taylor Decker, he hasn't practiced all week. MCDC did talk about in his presser yesterday. We'll dive into that. But if Decker can't go, does that mean it is Manu time in Detroit? Hey, we could have maybe the start of something going on there. I think there's some merchandise to be sold for Giovanni Manu if he performs well. All right, before we get into that, before we get into the 5 headlines now, before we talk about what's going to be an epic show by the Detroit Lions tomorrow beating down the Chicago Bears, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We are 101 sub away from hitting 14,600. So if you can help out with that, man, I will give you all a crisp, clean high five and say thank you very much. Also, if you have a half second of time, it's free of charge, won't cost you a dime. Reach on over, left, right, center of the screen, wherever it may be on your particular device. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons while you're doing it. We try to get every episode of the show between 2, 3, 400 or more thumbs up or likes. Last but most certainly never least, if you are considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, let alone the continental United States, go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text. You see the number on the screen, 269-998-2384. I have a quick conversation, see what I can do to use over 30 years in the industry, save you time, save you hassle, save you money, make it a great experience, and go on from there. All right, with all that done, set out of the way, let's get this show kicking off and rolling. Let's get into 5 headlines now. We might even have a bonus headline today. So get ready for 6 headlines today. All right, Lions film study. Let's see if Giovanni Manu is ready if Taylor Decker can't go. A to Z Sports, story by Mike Payton. We talked about this for the main topic of the day. You know what? We're going to dive into it during the 5 headlines. Well, 6 headlines today. But, hey, one of the biggest stories coming out of this week is Taylor Decker. That shoulder surgery that he had, it seems to be inflamed a little bit. So there's a very real possibility that Giovanni Manu, or I guess maybe somebody else, could slide on over and fill in for Taylor Decker. Decker, I think we'd all agree, He's in the twilight of his career, still playing at a very good pace. Hey, in week 1 of the regular season against the Green Bay Packers, he was probably the Lions' best offensive lineman. No disrespect to anybody else, but, Penei Sewell did not have his best game ever. We don't even need to go into the rest of the offensive line, the middle of the line. They were worked over a little bit, didn't perform at a great pace. But when you go back and watch the film, as this report suggests, it means Giovanni Manu may potentially get his first NFL career start. So what are some of the strengths? What are some of the weaknesses? One of the weaknesses right off the bat is, he's not yet great with his bend. Somebody gets low. Think of, I don't know, I guess if you want to say James Houston before the ankle injury for the Detroit Lions, something like that apparently gives him troubles. At least that's what we can ascertain from preseason games, etc. With that being said, hey, the Bears do have some guys who get after the quarterback. It could be that if Manu starts, you may have to be John Morton, MCDC, and say, hey, we're going to have somebody chip a little bit more to help out, or maybe just keep a tight end on that side to help out and say, hey, Penei, you're going to have to go one-on-one a little bit more. That's a possibility. One thing we can say based on just the preseason games is Manu does not have problems with spin moves. Why is that? Well, look at his base. Look at his shoulders and how wide those are. You've got to be pretty dang good and have power along with a lot of athleticism to get away from him. Whether or not Montez Sweat could give him some problems with it, we can only tell you what we've seen in the preseason. And with the preseason games, it does seem like that's something he handles well. His hand placement has radically improved from when he started, with the Lions a year ago in training camp, etc., like that. His foot placement has improved. His athleticism's never been in question. So while he doesn't bend that well to get down with somebody who can get with any kind of real low center of gravity and get around him, keeping everything in front of him, the spin move, etc., not going to be a problem. As far as placements and things that you could worry about with his hands, he still sometimes, if somebody gets leverage on him, and again, can only go by the preseason game so far, he does set himself up from time to time to get called for holdings. Is that going to be a big thing? I don't know. We're going to see how much they've improved upon it. One thing that has really improved with him is run blocking. From when he was drafted, he wasn't particularly great at it. Now I'd say he's competent at the NFL level. And this report does kind of confirm that. You have to go with your own devices, what you think there. One other thing I'll throw at you, and then we'll get to the main topic, or excuse me, the next of the 5 headlines now, just because I feel like I'm going on forever with this one. On a lot of different moves in space. So normally guards are used in that direction on pulls, etc., traps. But you know what? One thing that showed up on tape during the preseason for Manu is he got used a lot in those roles. That's a reflection of how much athleticism he has. The fact that you have tackles, sort of like Penei Sewell, Decker normally in past years wouldn't be asked to do that. But with Manu, you can get him out in space. Going into Green Bay, I thought one of the strengths we now have with this offensive line versus the year before, 2 years ago, is it's just way more athletic. It needs to grow, develop, and gel, that's for sure. Could it be that we see Manu on some sort of screen packages where he's one of the lead blockers out there? I would think if he's going to be a part of the lineup, that's going to be part of the game plan. We'll have to wait and see, though. All right, we'll spend forever on that one. Let's go to the next one. ESPN's latest commentary on Lions' Week 1 loss is a comical overreaction. Sideline report, story by Candace Pereira. Everybody and their mother, it seems like, is throwing the Lions under the bus, saying it's all doom and gloom. Everything's over. It's all bad. Hey, you lost some players. You lost some coordinators. You're not going to win a game this year. Let's be fair. Yesterday morning show, there were a whole lot of people on the show that were saying, hey, the Lions are going to play for a top 3 draft pick, top 5 draft pick. ESPN seems to be jumping on that boat a little bit. Peter Schrager says it's, and I'm just going to paraphrase. I'm not going to read everything for a direct quote. He thinks it's more or less panic time for the Lions, that they can't overcome the losses of Ben Johnson, that John Morton just isn't good at what he does, that the team only averaged 2 to 3 yards running and passing, and he thinks it's just time for the Lions fan base to phone in the season. Here's what I'm going to say. If we would have saw the Washington Commanders come out and just radically look different than what the Lions looked like against the Green Bay Packers, I think he's probably more right that, hey, maybe we need to say that week 1 might have been a tell. But here's what I'd also say. I've coached for eons, and the difference from your first game to your second game typically is a whole lot. If you believe at all in the coaching staff to develop players, develop chemistry, I think it's not just Peter Schrager. There's a ton of people at ESPN on Get Up and other stuff throwing the Lions under the bus. Here's what I'd say. If we get to week 2 and 3 and we see the same problems we've seen in Green Bay, then that's a problem. That's probably a tell what the season's going to be like. My personal opinion in regards to this story, ESPN, like everybody else, is just trying to put out content, trying to get reactions, trying to get views. I think you're going to see with the Detroit Lions a lot better running game performance. Probably with that, then a lot better passing attack. One thing, the Packers, watching them for 2 games now, they've got a ton of athleticism, not just in that front 4, but throughout each layer of the defense. Because of it, it makes it real hard. I know a lot of people in the Duke crew are saying, man, you got to take some shots long. You can if you want to turn the ball over or have a high probability. Watching the Packers in both games, they drop pretty deep the second and definitely the third layer. So you're throwing into their hands while they're playing zone and looking at you. My thoughts on tomorrow's game, I think you're going to see the Lions bounce back exponentially. And then what you'll see from ESPN and everybody else is, man, Lions are still a threat, still a contender. Man, John Morton's changed everything. Kelvin Shepard, he looks like the second coming of whatever. But that's just part of the normal news cycle throughout national media. What are your thoughts, Duke Crew? Is ESPN right? Is it doom and gloom for the Detroit Lions? Are they just taking shots at us to get clicks? I'm thinking it's probably the latter, but let me know your thoughts in the comments section if you would be so kind. Dan Campbell at the center of quietly, important Lions storyline for week 2. Fan side story by Nick Holden. Let's all face it. MCDC is the Jedi Master. Ben Johnson is the understudy. There's nothing more that Ben Johnson would like to do than beat the former, teacher. The teacher doesn't want to lose to the apprentice. Both things are going to be in display tomorrow. And Dan Campbell, while he's come out and said repeatedly, Ben Johnson's still his friend, they're still good buds, all this stuff. Let's also throw in the human factor. Nobody in a Detroit Lions uniform. And I don't mean just the players. I mean the coaches, the front office. Nobody wants to lose tomorrow. Not just because it's the Chicago Bears, because it is Ben Johnson. It's going to be talked about in the pregame shows everywhere. It's already been talked about all week. It's going to be talked about after the game. Lions win by 40 tomorrow. You know what everybody's going to be saying? Well, Ben Johnson's going to want to get revenge in that second game. And they're not wrong. Who here wants to lose to your protege? Who here who's been an understudy doesn't want to beat the guy that taught you? Little brother versus big brother, however you want to term it and word it. This story goes into it exponentially. And you know what? I think both sides are right. Everybody's got something to play for tomorrow. And that's why I think it's going to be maybe a little bit closer than some are anticipating. I've seen score predictions having the Lions win by 3. I've had us winning by, I think, 29 points. I don't know if we're going to win by 29. If you had asked me right now, somewhere in the 10 to 14 range. And then there'll be some people across the national media who will probably throw shade at the Lions if we only win by 10 or 14 and say, man, Lions are that bad because they only won by 10 or 14. I don't know, man. It's tough to win in the NFL. It's tough to win in any level of sports. Lions win tomorrow. Here's what I know. We're 1-on-1, probably like the vast majority of the NFL. All right, Ben Johnson's Bears are facing elite players in a hostile environment in Detroit. CBS Sports story by Michael David Smith. I wanted to try to get something from the other side of the spectrum, the Chicago's perspective. So went to a more their type of storyline or fan base or whatever. And Ben Johnson does give a lot of praise towards the Detroit Lions and the players leading in this. While he may have taken some shots at us in the offseason and preseason, I think he's wise enough to know a couple days leading the game, you want to try to quell things down. People are less than happy with Ben Johnson in Detroit. People on the team, players, athletes, are probably less than happy with some of the comments he's made in the offseason. So what do you do leading into this game? Hey, he's one of the greatest players ever. He's one of the greatest coaches ever. You try to be overly complimentary to try to take some of that steam out of him a little bit. I don't think that St. Brown or anybody else on the Detroit Lions are going to fall for it. Maybe I'm wrong. I think what damage has been done in this offseason between the fractured relationships with Ben Johnson and the Detroit Lions players, you know what? They're going to want to come out and repay that in kind. I think you're going to see a whole lot of stuff. I won't be surprised if it gets very physical in this game and nothing to do with the Chicago Bears players. I get it's a rivalry, But I think the Lions players, they're going to be in their feelings a little bit. They're going to dig in a little bit more. They are coming off a loss to Green Bay. They feel like they got embarrassed. And you got a guy who's talked jazz about you on the sidelines. Man, it sounds like a recipe for a disaster for the Bears, if you ask me. All right, Kerby Joseph injury report. Knee injury for all-pro safety ahead of Detroit Lions home game. Dave Burkett, Detroit Free Press. While I don't want to say this is going to be the biggest story ever, I did want to bring it up for you guys because Kerby Joseph is listed with that bit of a knee injury. You guys knew about it during the preseason. It's flared up again. And you know what? Here it is, the injury report. Some of you guys, I get, because whatever you're watching this show on, you might not be able to read this. Let's go through it real quick. Knee injury, it flared up during the preseason, kept him out a lot of training camp, etc. It seems like it flared up a little bit later in the week. Limited participation, questionable for the game. That also being said, I really doubt, especially for Kerby Joseph, since he was the target of Ben Johnson a few different comments this offseason, I doubt, unless he's just really not able to go, he will be on that field. It's almost like a pseudo-championship game between these two teams. So Kerby Joseph, questionable. I think he's going to play. Taylor Decker, as you guys already know, hasn't practiced at all this week. My full anticipation is if he's able to go, he's going to go. Campbell talked about in his presser yesterday, said, hey, he's a veteran, doesn't really need a whole lot of reps at this point in his career. Might even be kind of wise to let him, prolong the health of his season by having him miss some practice times. And then the other part of it can also be true. Giovanni, Manu, Dan Skipper, or whoever else you're going to throw in that role, they get more time to develop with the ones. The only downside, in my opinion, for Taylor Decker missing all of practice this week is just you're trying to get some sort of timing and gel coordination with that offensive line. I think everybody would agree week one against Green Bay, it just wasn't there. Whether or not it's the hostile environment, the noise or whatever, or just the fact that they haven't even played a game together until they got to Green Bay. I'm not going to go on to that, what I would have done differently in the preseason. You guys get it. But being that it may, I'd say Kerby Joseph's going to play tomorrow. Taylor Decker, I still think is a flip of the coin. In regards to the Chicago Bears and their injuries, just about everybody's back. Kyler Gordon, one of their cornerbacks, is still out with a hamstring. Grady Garrett, the defensive tackle, is questionable. I'd say he's probably not going to play. And then Walker, the wide receiver for them, is doubtful, so don't anticipate he's going to play. But I know a lot of you guys were asking about Johnson, the cornerback. I guess both Johnsons. They're full participants yesterday, and then Jalen Johnson was all week. Now, the one thing with Johnson, we talked about with Terrion Arnold. Yeah, let me go ahead and take this off the screen. Terrion Arnold missed a lot of training camp because of injuries to the lower portions of his legs, hamstring, groin, and everything else. If I'm John Morton, I'm going after their cornerbacks real quick and early in the game. Why? Well, they haven't gotten a whole lot of conditioning this offseason because of their injuries, and they haven't played much. Talk about communication issues in that first quarter for the Lions last week against Green Bay, really biting us in the butt, and not just for the defense, but for the offensive line as well. I'd be doing the same thing. I think that's coaching 101. You got somebody who's a lame duck. Let's find out how lame they are. Go after them, test them out. If they've got any problems with communications or just conditioning, we're going to find out real quick. And if it is a problem, we're going to keep attacking it. If the Lions don't do that, I would question why. But of course, you guys in the comment section, let me know. If I'm John Morton, I might keep 6 blockers on the field. And if Decker's out especially, just so I can get more one-on-one routes. Not to keep referencing what the Green Bay Packers did, but there were a lot of times in that first quarter last week, they kept in 6 or 7 blockers, left only 2 or 3 people going out on routes, and said, hey, eventually these guys are going to get open against that man-to-man, and guess what happened? They did. Now, I'll give Kelvin Shepard some credit. He made some adjustments. My point with all this is, against the Chicago Bears, you got to beat up secondary. You got to beat up second half of its defense with the linebackers in the secondary. I would test them out early and often and keep repeating until they prove they make adjustments. What would be part of those adjustments? Taking more and more people away from the line of scrimmage because I have to help protect those other areas, which now opens up what? Your running game and short intermediate passes, play action, etc. All right, I promise you a bonus headline. Here we go. The Lions tried to simulate Bears quarterback Caleb Williams in an interesting way at practice. A to Z Sports. Story by Mike Payton. Hey, I'll give Dan Campbell some credit for trying to think outside the box. There's no quarterback on the Detroit Lions roster that I can think of that has the athleticism of Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, why he's had less than an ideal start to his career. He's had some strengths. He's had some, minuses, whatever you want to term it as, in his career, but he is very athletic. Kyle Allen, MCDC talked about in the presser. They've asked him to basically be a running quarterback in practice, try to simulate what Caleb Williams can do. And, hey, you're doing the best you can, I guess, if you're MCDC and the rest of the coaching staff, to put the defense in as familiar a situation this week as you can for Sunday. Is it going to pay off? Is it going to help? I don't know. I think Caleb Williams is significantly more athletic than Kyle Allen, But you know what? You're getting something versus nothing. You're not just walking into Sunday just trying to figure it all out on the fly. Maybe Allen's more athletic than I'm getting him credit for, but the Lions did the best they could, and I thought that was a pretty good move by them overall. All right, Duke Crew, we've kind of today's show throwing the main topic of the day in the 5 headlines now, even though it ended up being 6 headlines. So I'm just going to go to the comments section, see what you guys have to say about all these things or anything else, I guess, that comes to mind. Some of you guys did text me about tomorrow. Yes, I'll have a live stream. Probably for the foreseeable future, I'll have live streams. One thing I have been working on, I know Micro Mike does it. I think some other people do it, where they play the audio. Well, I'm trying to take it a step further. You guys know I can't show the game on the screen, but not so fast. You might be able to, or I might be able to. The only thing is, if you look at your lower right portion of the screen, trying to have a little bit of a video there, it would be very small per engagement rules with YouTube and everything. You've got to keep it very, very small to not take up a certain percentage of the screen. So trying to get the audio out there for you guys. Yes, I'll still do play-by-play and even have a picture of the game on the screen. Although, again, you probably have to be looking through an eyeglass to be able to see it. All right, let's get to the comments section. Michael, greetings, salutations, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew, exclamation point, one pride, woo, and back at you. JDC, morning all, always good to see you. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Woo! Hey, who doesn't like to woo in the morning, especially on a Saturday? Johnny L, good morning, folks. It's always good morning when the Duke Crew's here, Johnny. What's up with Kerby? Hey, he's got a little bit of a knee injury. He's had it all off season. I really don't think it's going to go away at all this year, so it's going to be moderating it, trying to keep it in check. Same with Decker's shoulder. I mean, there's going to be times it's going to flame up. There's going to be times it's not. Maybe you get to the off season, you can do a little bit more for it, but you're in the season now. It's going to be management on it. Load management. There's the term. Trey, what's good, Duke Crew? Question mark. Is it just me, or does it seem like the excitement for this season is down this year? Question mark. My thoughts, I don't think it's any different than, I'll just use it as an example. Last year, we come out the gate. We get the big Sunday night win against the Rams. Everybody's jumping up and down. Okay, we survived. We're going to work on this, that, the other thing. And then we lost the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that next morning, maybe the next week, everybody was, oh my gosh, this team's terrible. How could we lose to the Bucs? The Bucs were not a bad team. And I think it's probably no different at most fan bases. Just the love affair this town does have for Lions. It's a two-edged sword or a double-edged sword. When you win, everybody's A-okay. When you lose, it's the sky is falling. And here's what I'd say. I think this team's going to be pretty good this year. I don't think it's going to win 15 games. I've been wrong before. Maybe we'll win 16 games this year. But I think the Lions will make the playoffs. I do think we'll make some damage in the playoffs, and I still think we're going to be one of the best teams in the NFC, maybe in the NFL. We'll wait and see what shakes out over time. All right, Michael, second game into the season already with injuries, exclamation point, and with this schedule this season, we will need everybody. We will, man, for sure. No doubt about that. Johnny L. Trey, it does seem that way, doesn't it? To a degree, but if we would have won the last week, I think it would be just the opposite. Everybody would be, jumping up and down. But if we would have lost tomorrow, then it'd be kind of where we are now. Big Eddie, Trey, yeah, not the same as last year. Losing to Green Bay feels like it ran off a lot of fans. When we win tomorrow, all of them come flying back to the team. Yeah, 100%. People jump in ship. Now we'll jump back in the freight train or whatever. Kerry, morning, everyone. Back at you. Johnny L, I'll never jump off. Yeah, I'd say most of the people around this show, I'm with you, Johnny, that, just hang out with the Duke Crew. Yeah, we're probably lifers for the Lions, aren't we? Stephanie Wilder, good morning, boys. Exclamation point. Can't speak for anyone else, but I feel like we are going to have a good season. Packers just made some fans get into their feelings. Yeah, well said, 100%. Bo, I don't know about that trade. Might be just because the outside circumstances are different. Could be. Yeah, there could be a lot of things affecting things. All right, I have a feeling about Manu. I have a good feeling. I got a feeling. It sounds like the start of a song. Jess, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. I think that it's PTSD for being a Lions fan for the years. Many of us now want the team to win every game, or it's here we go again. There's probably a whole lot of truth to that, and I know Professor Steele mentioned that the other day. Here's my thoughts. A lot of Lions fans, because we've been fans for so long, we're always thinking, man, that the refs are going to mess us over, or there's going to be a flag at the wrong time. I mean, think about even last week's game. If Brian Branch's pick six, happens instead of that, I'm not going to say it wasn't holding, but I thought it was kind of ticky-tack. How much different is that game? How much different is the feel of the fan base? If Goff's one pass isn't picked off, and it was just a heck of a play on multiple layers of the defense, if we even get a field goal there, I don't think last week's game was as egregious as many in the national media or whatever are saying. I think the Lions could have done better. Sure, won't get into that. But with that also being said, Lions fans, we win this week. We win in Baltimore the following week on Monday night. Then I think the narrative completely changes. Man, this team's pretty good. We beat the Chicago Bears. We beat Baltimore. And then everybody will be kind of changing their tunes. Johnny L., I have a good feeling about the whole team. I like the way you're thinking. JDC, Trey Tippin, seems like a typical up-down Detroit Lions season start. I'll go with that. JDC, go Lions. I like the way that you just worded that. Man, I'm trying not to say same things all the time. Kerry, I think the O-line just needs time to figure each other out. I think that's a big part of it. I know I mention often why me as a coach, I put so much into the players' plates during preseason games or scrimmages, whatever you want to call them, exhibitions. It's because you want to make those as 100% like the game as possible. Like, just for example, when I've coached teams in the past, exhibition games, man, everything you would do in a normal game, so the warm-ups, halftime, everything, make it as generically like a regular season game as you can be. So you do your pregame warm-ups, your meetings, make it all the same. So the regular season game, it's just a continuation of that. That's the one thing if it was me, would change about the Detroit Lions. Although every coach has their own thing. Drake, man, let's be real. Last season we lost to Tampa Bay, and every day fans said the team stunk. Every pod or radio show was doom and gloom. Shake my head. We are always 1-1 to start the year. Yes, I want to say when we win tomorrow, that'd be like the fourth straight year for the Lions that we have started 1-1. Johnny L, we just need to put that behind us. I've been a Lions fan my whole life, and I was born in 1962. Yay, you got me beat by 10 years, my friend. Drake, Art, me too. Manu could be good. I think he could be good. We'll find out tomorrow. JDC, sit high in the saddle, fellow Lions Talk Livers. I like the way you're thinking. Bo, starting 101 seems like business as usual. I concur. Gary, you don't replace Rags, Decker, Zettler in one game. No, you don't. But you know what? It will be one step closer to being done with this game, with every game that passes. France, Jess, Lions fans typically overreact more than most. That's my feeling regarding the current mood. Yeah, I'd say that's probably a lot of accuracy to it. You look at this portion of the country. So you look at the Cleveland Browns, maybe Philadelphia, I don't know, Chicago, or maybe Indianapolis too. You get it. This part of the country, Green Bay. It's just fans are really into their teams. And not that they aren't in other areas. It's just, I think, another level here. Maybe you could say in Texas it's like that too. So there's a lot of emotional investment into the well-being of the team. When the team doesn't do well, it does affect people's emotions exponentially, in my opinion. Art Lions spent some time yesterday chasing Kyle Anner around to simulate Caleb Williams. When I asked if he was as fast as Caleb Williams, MCDC reaction was priceless. Yeah, I thought he did pretty well with it, man. But MCDC, there was people that don't like him. I will say this, he is authentic to who he is. He goes on that mic. He doesn't sugarcoat things. He doesn't try to be somebody else. He tries to be himself. Good for him, man. Johnny L, jumping, whatever that is. Relax, everybody. I'll go with that, 100%. Okay, good morning, Duke Crew. We really need to get this win tomorrow to stop all the same old Lions stuff. Exclamation point. We got the grit. We do have the grit, don't we? JDC, I ain't scared. Go Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Stephanie, DC said it said it best with Decker. The coaches are worried about the whole season, not one game. Smart thing. I would agree with that. If you feel like he's going to get messed up for more than one game, then why play him? Let him get healthy. It is a long season. Bo, Johnny L, I say with an exclamation point. Susan, morning crew. I need some coffee today, late night. All right. Let's see, Johnny L. Art, I saw that too. It was pretty funny. It was a little funny, wasn't it? Leonard, greetings, salutations, coach and Duke crew. Decker and Kerby Arnold will all suit up. Game is too important to go. Can't go 0-2 and lose against Ben Johnson in the Lions' Den. I agreed with that. There is a certain kind of energy behind this game. I think from all reports, Arnold's going to be fine. Yes, he tweaked the muscles and stuff like that, but you know what? Hopefully he has a good bounce back game. Lauren, good morning, Coach Dan and the world famous New Crew, and back at you. Just good point on that, Leonard. Need the game and the Browns 2-2, and then we can go on a run 2-2 if we don't beat the Ravens. Yeah, if we don't beat the Ravens, I think you got a good shot against the Browns, although the Browns have a real legit defense. Johnny L, we are going to be just fine. No worries. I like the way you're thinking. Carrie, JDC, I ain't either. All right. Hookadoo. Good morning, Johnny L and Carrie. You two twins. You two look like you have grit. Hey, they're the Grit Brothers. How about that? All right. I hate to see all those two sit out on Sunday, but I wouldn't hate it more if their injuries got worse because they played. We have guys that can step up and get the jobs done. Yeah, just like Chicago the week prior. I mean, they had like 3 or 4 different defenders out for them. You have to make, as a coach, you have to make business decisions. Everybody wants to win every single game. I get that. But you're to be 2 games in. You got, 15 games left in the regular season. How much does playing that guy this week, impact them going forward? And I think that's part of the math behind it. Robert, greetings, everyone. Sonny, we need more intensity. I'll go with that. It's time to go downfield, across the field. Change it up, guys. I'll go with that. Lauren, Lions Talk Live, Puff and Coffee. Good Saturday morning for me. How about you? So far, it's been pretty good, my friend. Glad to hear it's a good one for you. Johnny O, Grit and Destroy, my brother Hookadoo. Don Burr, Deck, Kerby playing Sunday. Not worried at all. I like the way you're thinking. Hey, I'll go with that 100%. Like your new thumbnail, by the way. Also, Henry Moore, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. What a team. What a podcast. What time to be a Lions fan. Woo! And back at you. Steve Rogers, anyone know if Coach is doing a stream for the game? I am going to give it a go tomorrow. I got to do some things a little differently, but I am going to give it a go and have it up here. Hopefully it all works out well. We'll find out, won't we? Johnny L, good morning to you, Henry. Well, Coach said he was, Steve. I am, 100%. Jerome, they said we need time to gel as a team. Then, classes better be accelerated. We have a senior schedule. We do, man. We've got a big schedule. There's no off week this year. Get it ready. Get a win tomorrow. That'll help quell a lot of things there, Jerome. Steve, thanks, Bo. I like his play calling. Hey, I tried to do something right. Thank you for that. Big D, morning crew. Hope Kerby can go. We need his butt. We do. But, if he's not 100%, might have to sit him out because then he could actually hinder the team if he's only playing like 60 or 70%. Big D, Steve, he usually does. Someone, Kerby will play. Decker, I don't know. Okay, Bo, Steve, and I don't forget about having the Duke crew in the chat during the game. We will probably have more than a few in the Duke crew in the chat. Hookadoo, yep, he said he was, but he just had something to rearrange in the Duke crew HQ. There you go. But he'll have a live show for the game. Yes, I'll give it my all. Pat Rock, let's see what he got. Bounce back, get right game tomorrow. I can feel it in my do. I like the way your do is feeling with an exclamation point. Tori, Chicago has most of its defense back. Sounds like one corner will still be out. Yeah, sounds like that. Yeah, sounds like most of their guys will be back. Gary, skip the Bears. How about that? Johnny L, look out because here we come and they will not like what we're about to get. All right? Yeah, let's put it on the Bears. Any more Wild Duke crew? What kind of train wreck happened now? Just, some of the fans were obviously less than happy that we lost to Green Bay. Michael, hope Morton has a better game plan. Let's see what he comes up with, man. Only way to know is watch the game tomorrow. Coach Rock, good morning, Duke Crew. Same to you. Carrie, like I said, skip the Bears. Skip the Bears, says Brent. Johnny L, absolutely correct, Carrie. 5 fingers ready. I think with we win tomorrow, but not by a blowout. Okay, I'll go with that. Hey, wins win, man. 1 point or 1,000 points and still win. Johnny, skip the Bears. Trim Reaper. Good morning, Coach Dan and the Mighty Duke crew. Exclamation points. Woo! And same to you. Johnny L, I don't care if it's a blowout or not as long as we win. Well said, my friend. Hookadoo, skip the Bears. Bear down. Exclamation point. Michael, skip the Bears. Detroit 34. Chicago 17. Let's try to give them less than 17. I like it, though, Michael. Kerry, I don't care if it's by 1 point. Yep, skip the Bears. Stephanie, just win tomorrow, baby. Exclamation point. We got this. We got this. Coach Rock, tomorrow should be a good tell in what direction the Lions are going. Hopefully they pick the grit side. The grit side of the force is always the good side, right? Johnny L, the Bears, skip the Bears train is rolling the baby 100%. Kurt Steele, what up, Duke crew? What's up, Professor Steele? How you doing? Lauren, what up, Kurt? Kurt, Boss Up Ball show will premiere at 8:30. We'll see you there. Dunk Kong, here we go. Exclamation point. Happy Saturday. Enjoy your Saturday, my friend. Mary Smith, good morning, Duke crew and Lions fans. Always good day when Queen Mary is in the house. Arrogant C, never remember a game two feeling so important before. Gotta go to this one, get and see the win. Hey, go enjoy it, see the win. Have a great time at the game, my friend. Good to see you in the chat as always. Johnny L, good morning, Kurt, Coach Rock. Good morning, Hookadoo, Johnny L, and Stephanie, and all the Duke crew. And back at you, Hookadoo. Coach Rock, you got your grit loaded and ready to fire? Oh, yeah. Paperback fan, man. I haven't seen you on a live show in a minute, it feels like. Good evening, salutations, Duke crew. Happy Saturday, all. Lions bounced back this week with a much better showing. 31-10, exclamation point. Let's flip and go. We'll go. Big D, Steele, the premiere, love, laughing out loud, love it, 100% the premiere. All right. William, good morning. Can't wait for tomorrow. We need redemption. Redemption will be served 100% tomorrow. That's my bold prediction. Art, I was ready for tomorrow when the schedule was announced. I think a whole lot of people had that thing circled, didn't they? Coach Rock, and a big hello, Mary. Johnny L, biscuits and gravy with a side order of grit and hot sauce. Gotta never forget the hot sauce. Kurt Steele, Big D premiere. It means recorded video with a live chat. Hey, we'll go with all that. Laughing out loud. Big D, I know, buddy. I'm just joking with you, brother. All right. Coach Rock, good morning. And that sounds good, Kurt. Hey, doesn't it, though? Big D, cinnamon, raisin, bread, and coffee. All right. Hookadoo. Holy Mary, Mother of God, Queen Mary, Mary, Mother of Grit is in the house. All the above. Mary Smith, good morning, Rock and my Duke crew brothers. And we are ready to bring the grit tomorrow. I think so. JK, if Lions perform good, it's because it's Chicago next week. It will be the truth against Baltimore. All right, fair enough. Big D, let's go, Coach. We're going. Big D, good morning, Mary. Coach Rock, always ready to bring the grit for a game. JDC, Bears, the Munsters of the Midway. Let's make that so. Art, the people that are freaking out over last Sunday are fair weather Lions fans. Yeah, could be 100%. If you can't stand behind the Lions when they have a bad game, then how can you enjoy good games? It's a fair question. Mary Smith, I'm so ready for Sunday. Aren't we all? Johnny L, you tell them there. JDC, Big D, as am I, Mary. Big D, the dumpsters of the Midway. We'll be dumping on them. Mary, good morning. Big D, Johnny L is laughing. Don Kong. Manu will be starting in Sunday. Yes, I'd say there's probably a high probability of that. Coach Rock watched Panay, and it seemed he had one arm in one guy and another arm in Ratledge, just trying to do too much, rookie by his side. Yeah, probably trying to overcompensate for some of what Ratledge wasn't able to process out there. JK, cornerback rocking the loop earrings. Oh, scary. All right, Man Bear, good morning. Oh, hookadoo. As in a circus, you have clowns like the Bears. All right, hey, good to have some clowns, right? Especially if they're playing for the Bears. Big D, every time I see Mary in the chat, that song from the Scarface double album back in the day, Mary, 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 happy just to hear your name. Mary Jane, do you do your thing? Mary, 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 exclamation points. Johnny L, good morning to see you, Man Bear. Leonard, what do you got? Coach, do you think Tesla has already earned more reps? I think so, too. I think he will. How about that? With his consistency and his size is a matchup problem for the red zone. I agree. I was surprised last week they didn't have him in more red zone packages. MCDC addressed it, just said, hey, since he missed so much of the week due to his illness, that kind of impacted what they were going to be able to do with him. Mary Smith, JK is laughing. JK, Mary Smith. All right, Mary Smith. Okay, JK. Big D, Tesla better get more reps. I can't let loyalty to a certain player affect who is the best player to be on the field? I'll go with that 100%. Yeah, you got to go with whoever the best player is. JC, tick, tick, tick. It's woo time. Yes, it is. Big D, field. Johnny L. Mary is getting some love today. There you go. Those loop earrings might go well with Caleb Williams nail polish. Fair enough. JK, Kiss, cornerback 2. Hookadoo. Johnny L. Thunder and Lightning, baby. Oh, yeah. No, ESPN has lost all relevance. It does feel like they're fighting to stay alive at this point. Johnny L, JK, you funny. JDC, each and every team has their mothers wants to kick the Lions behind. Probably a lot of truth to that, especially after getting beat up by the Lions last few years. Just sit tight and keep your hands and feet in while the season moves along. Go Lions! Exclamation point. Yeah, you don't want to lose a limb. Hookadoo. Bo, my cable company dropped ESPN. Yeah, I'm not horribly surprised by that. Benjamin Brewer, more than enough offensive line trouble and inept offensive coordinator and trouble brews. All right. JK, thank you, Johnny. Pat, does anyone think Hutch is upset that he hasn't got his contract? I've seen some plays where he would have made last season that he didn't even try. One play was a TD player. It could be just that maybe he doesn't have his full conditioning back. I mean, I don't know. I'm just speculating here. Plus, it was his first game in a year. Maybe he's shaking off some rust there, Pat. Michael, so has NFL Network Bo Booth? All right, Bo, Michael, I know, right? Johnny L. Benjamin doesn't start. Don't start. How about that? Leonard, I'm taking earplugs and cough drops because it's going to be extremely loud. Yes, it will be at Ford Field. No doubt about that. Damien, ESPN is right. Exclamation point. The Lions will maul the Bears. The Lions coaching staff and the team are all built to correct their problems. 42-14. That would be a great day tomorrow there, Damien. Gary, ESPN used to be. Now that's it for ESPN. I concur. JDC, this is why they play the game. Well said, my friend. Michael, they are getting irrelevant in sports. They're doing everything they can to stay relevant. And I get the world has changed since the 80s or 90s when they started, or I guess maybe it would have been the 70s. But anyways, they got ESPN Sports Bet. Now they basically bought out NFL Network. They're doing everything they can. They even have the WWE a part of their platform now. And I like the WWE, but, they would have never done that back in the day. Thomas, let's just say this. We cannot lose this game. Exclamation point. Lions 31, Bears 20. I'll take that. Brett, view from Chicago's perspective. View from the toilet seat. Ooh, there you go. JK, if you ask me, sometimes sports in general, like fake news, are huge distractions. Yeah, could be. Michael, especially this so-called, let's see, Johnny L. I read totally, Michael. Johnny, and yeah, AI also sucks. Yeah, AI is changing some things for sure. William, I'm perplexed to see how we can judge the team by one game and give up. Some will, though. Just because we need time to gel, but I bet we have some more rough games this season. Yeah, 100%. There's always going to be up and down games in any season, unless you're just that superior athletically, talent-wise, over everybody else. Usually you are going to have some down days. JK, ask ChatGPT what I said. We'll find out. Hookadoo, Brent, they have their swimming trunks on to swim in that toilet seat. Hey, you got to stay clean, right? Thomas, if Manu starts, we're in big trouble. Maybe we'll find out. Hey, I'm going to give if they put him out there, it's because they believe in him. So I'm going to go with that. Coach Steiner, K, Coach and Duke Crew, exclamation point, back at you. Kerry, it's a whirlpool. Might be. Courtney, Lions win, exclamation point. Woo, nothing like home field. You might be right there. JK, Brent, truth, laughing out loud. Johnny L, no, it's a swirly. Brent is laughing. Kerry, there you go, Courtney. Johnny L, this is going to be a great game. I like the way you're thinking. JK, Chicago Eagles portable toilet with blue green water. All right, Dominic, good morning from Texas. Good morning to you, and thank you for always being a part of the Duke Crew. Let's see, Thomas, Count, and better be ready if Manu starts. Why? Manu, Mahogany, and Ratledge with last week 1.87 seconds to throw the ball. Is what it is. You're going to have to figure it out. There ain't nobody else coming through that door. Johnny L, get her done, Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Black Jared Jones, good Saturday, Duke Crew. Grit, baby, grit. I'm down with that. Coach Steiner K, I was worried looking at last week, but I have restored my internal Lions roar. I trust my team. 100% there. You're rarely going to go undefeated. Only one team in NFL history has ever done it. So you know what? Losses will happen. Our version to the mean, happy Saturday, rebound Sunday Eve. Let's go Lions. I like it. I like it indeed. JC, what do you got? Greetings, salutations, coach and crew. Exclamation point, back at you. Leonard, coach, it's not that we have lost faith in the coaches. They just will get it right. But if we go into only 12% of the teams make the playoffs, that's the concern because the schedule is the toughest in Lions history. You're not wrong with all the above. Not wrong at all. Gary, good luck playing in Ford's echo chamber. Might be. And JK, Tesla, 2 touchdowns. Let's make that happen. Thomas, we're 3-4 or 4-3 at the bye. Got to be ready to play. Exclamation point. No more lackluster Green Bay game. All right. JK, early. All balls on it. Good morning, Duke Crew. Same at you. Hookadoo. Anthony is in the house. And yep, he brought the grit. He always does, doesn't he? With an exclamation point. Motown Sports and Travel. The fans didn't jump off. Some of us realize improvements are needed. Yes, I'll go with that. Let's see, Thomas, I'm not jumping ship at all, but I am realist. Now's the time for more grit our head coach preaches about. There you go. Let's see, Broski Bear. Hey, good morning, Anthony. Boggy time. Caleb going to rush for 3 touchdowns. Hey, if he does that, loses by 10, I'm okay with that. All balls, no D. Myself and Broski have entertained into the bet of the century too. $100 Lions sweep the Bears. Oh yeah. Woo! Hey, well, good luck with that. I'm glad I don't have to handle the cash this time. JK, Chicago fans in the chat. Uh-oh, it happens. King SJ, morning coach and crew. I'm back at you. Bo, Anthony, and Broski in the house. Could we be looking at another bet of the century? Sounds like there is one. Maybe they'll be on the show tomorrow and help us all stay entertained. Thomas, I pray I'm wrong. Exclamation point. I do, but I do not see us beating the Ravens at all. We'll see what shakes out. Bo, I see it also. There you go. With an exclamation point. Motown, the Lions 31-17 over the Bears tomorrow. I like the way you're thinking. All balls, it is Bo. Dre Day. At Leonard, when the Chiefs lose to the Eagles today, are you saying they won't make the playoffs? We'll find out if they do or don't. J.K. Thomas, that game will be in my measuring stick. Okay. Johnny L. Sonic and Knuckles are coming for you. They probably are. Hookadoo, sweet. This is the tradition, this is the traditional bet of the century. Oh, yeah. Almost. He paid up last year. I respect him for that, not to give him a chance to win his money back. Yeah, got to give him a chance, right? Thomas, JK, 100%, exclamation point. Looking at those Ravens game the same way. I do not see us beating them. I want us to win, and I pray to win, but I don't see it. Fair enough, man. Sometimes you don't see the upsets coming. Leonard, Chiefs aren't going to lose. Dre Day, I want the NFC to lose, team to lose. Okay. Johnny L, we got this. No worries. I like the way you're thinking. Henry Moore, have a glorious day and go Lions! Exclamation point. Dre Day, so many people are like, I hope rather be wrong than shout negatively instead of showing support from blind faith and accepting how the season falls. Okay. JK, F the Chiefs. We'll find out. It's Kurt Steele. Correction, boss up, ball out. We'll be playing at 8 following Lions Talk Live. We'll check it out soon. Motown Sports, Lions O-line has to shine. I concur. Dre Day. But if they do lose, are they out? Question mark. Just like if the Lions lose, would they be out? Make it make sense, Leonard. All right. Coach Rock, all coaches say next man up. I would agree with that. Mary Smith, Professor Steele, thumbs up. Coach Rock or next lady up. Oh, way to be all-inclusive. All balls, my thoughts on the Lions winning. They need to win enough to get into the show and can speculate all we want to win, lose, loss. What it comes down to is the playoffs and make the playoffs. Yeah, make the playoffs. You got a chance. You don't make the playoffs, you got no chance. Thomas, more than anything else, we must bust out an effective running game. Exclamation point. With it being the 1.87 seconds to throw the ball versus Green Bay eek. Yeah, well, can every team replicate what Green Bay can or can do? I don't know. But I know a lot of teams will try to emulate it. Until then, Donner, do you think? Thunk? All right. Bo, agreed. Thomas, exclamation point. Kerry, has nobody figured out Dan Campbell does after a loss? He gets back to work, I'm imagining. Good, Verno, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Coach, is this a business to win Super Bowl? Someone needs to remind Brad Holmes we are hungry now. Bears 17, Lions 35. I like it. Let's take that win. Thomas, smash that like, y'all. Thank you for that. With a thumbs up. Until Donner, do you really think that we'll beat the Baltimore Ravens? Can't tell. I think we will, but I think we will win every game. I mean, that's part of me. When I coach a game, I don't go in thinking we'll lose. JK, Need to revive the run game ASAP, Sonic and Tails or Knuckles, whichever works. Let's flip and go. Get them both out there. Johnny L., we will get our revenge against the Ravens. Motown Sports and Travel, Decker had surgery this offseason and was supposed to be healthy. Very concerning. Yeah, things flame up, don't they? Thomas, TKS, Bo, exclamation point, got to, it's a must, got to run the ball effectively, 4+ yards a carry. We'll find out if they can. They got to be able to block, though. You block, you probably got a chance. If you don't block, you don't have much of a chance. Brent, yeah, Gary, been almost 3 years since the Lions have lost 2 regular season games in a row. Let's keep that going. Johnny Gas Sports, happy Saturday, new crew, and back at you, Gas Man. We got to get you back on the show, my friend. Thomas, Tilla, what do you see that makes you confident in the Ravens? Can we win? Yes, but am I going to whistle past the graveyard? All right, I don't know. I never walk into a game, whether as a player, coach, or anything, thinking I'm going to lose. That's just me. Yeah, that's not something I do. All Balls Coach, can you find out how long somebody's been a part of the show? I don't know. I guess we look back at the old tapes, but it's not like there's something in the stream that lets me know that. Gary, morning, John and Gaz. JK, funny is that Ravens played the Chitty Browns. Wait, Browns are okay team, but I guess that's the other part of it. I mean, we'll find out who everybody is in time. Don Burr, player of the game, offense, Gibbs, defense, Derek Barnes. I'll take that. Motown Sports, if no Decker, why not move Sewell to left tackle and Manu to right tackle? Because now, at least the way MCDC looks at it is now Manu is being asked to, Sewell is being asked to play a spot he doesn't normally play in practice in. I guess it's like, why not put a running back at quarterback? Why not put an offensive guard at tight end? It's just not something they normally do. I get he's got the ability, but if they haven't practiced him there all week, you're just going to be asking him to do it on the fly. I guess they look this way. If we move them, we've got 2 people playing out of position, or if we keep Penei Sewell at right tackle, we only have 1 player that's new to the lineup. Maybe that makes sense. I don't know. Brandon, who would you bet to score a touchdown for each team tomorrow? I like D. Swift and Jameson Williams. It's a great 2 leg. All right. Yeah, that might not be bad bets there. Johnny Gas, morning. Carrie, exclamation point, agreed. Don. All right. JK, both have a loss. I don't know. Don Burr, man who's been practicing left tackle all summer. I agree with that. JK, not cornerback. It's Caleb Williams. My bad, man. Motown Sports and Travel. Hope his footwork is good. Left tackle, Don Burr. They've been practicing him all preseason and summer there, so it's probably going to be better there than it would be at the right tackle where, everything is going to be a mirror image. Phil, so many excuses for the worst performance Lions have made in a long time. Now it's blame the fans that are disappointed. Real fans don't make excuses. No, but no team's going undefeated. Sometimes the other team just plays better, right? Brandon, I like Tesla, Solo, Dolo, TD, maybe Gibbs and DJ Moore, question mark. Is Kerby really out today? He was limited yesterday. Whether or not he'll be out tomorrow, we'll have to wait and find out. Don, it's going to be a test for Manu if he plays, but it's time to take the training wheels off. 100%. At some point, you got to step up. Motown, go Lions. I'm down with that. Trim River, let's go Lions. Oh, yeah. I like the way you're thinking. Bo, there's a big difference between a veteran missing some time and a rookie missing time. Tesla needs the practice more. Could be accurate. Johnny L., we be smoking? What are we smoking? The Trim River, good morning, Johnny Gaz and Professor Steele. 2 greats in the chat. Gary, agreed 100%. Don, it's the only way he'll progress. There you go. Dora K. Yeah, all right. Dora K, exactly. Why I have no faith in this team is this team's every day is some bad news. Now, let's hope it's not that bad of news. JK, betting apps are whack now. I've never used one, so I don't know. Can't speak intelligently about that. Don Burr, the old line will be Sewell, Mahogany, Ratledge, Miles, Frazier, Manu as soon as next year, possibly. Could be. Yeah, it could be. Johnny L., there is so much clickbait. There is, man. Everybody's trying to get a show, right? Gary, I love it. You got to love it sometimes. Phil, if Hutch is out of shape, he not used to playing, then why is Hutch rule in camp? That's a great question. I'm hearing so many maybes, what ifs, excuses. Yeah, the Hutch rule, I know somebody brought it up. Well, maybe you're doing it against the Detroit Lions offensive line. I don't know. I can only tell you, Phil, from a coaching perspective. When I watched the Green Bay game, it seemed like the Green Bay Packers came out and said, we're going to put 2 guys on you, or at the very least, 1 guy, and then chip blocker before they release. That's tough for most defensive linemen to get around. And I get a lot of people come out and say, well, the great ones do it. All right, how often do they do it? The other part is, what is the rest of that defensive line doing? My opinion does not need to be your opinion. Marcus Davenport did not win any one-on-ones, and the two guys they typically had in the middle of that defensive line were not getting any pressure. So, I mean, you need help sometimes. Very few people do it all alone. There's only so many Michael Jordans out there. Dre Day, maybe time for a new team. Adore K, let's hope not. Till then, Thomas, I find it funny that you repeat it multiple times in multiple chats. Like we don't see or hear you just say the first few dozen times. Just found it amusing. All right. Bo, we have developed our filters when it comes to clickbait. You probably need to. 100% there. Johnny L. Hutch is going to be a beast, no worries. Yeah, we'll find out. Kerry, maybe one other lineman. Yeah, maybe. Off the top, even though it's only week 2, this is a must-win game. Shake my head, especially having a Ravens week 3. I'll go with all the above, 100% sure. Rock seems to me the Bears always play us tough. They do, man. So keep the positive vibes coming. Yeah, especially with division games, unless you're just massively better than the other team, they usually are fairly competitive. JK, Adora, try ignoring it. Yeah, I'll go with that. Don, Adora K, it's 31 other teams. Okay. Well, just because you get down, let's not get after each other. Brand Tesla, a turdy, yes or no? We'll find out. Hookadoo, 53 bearskin rungs for sale after tomorrow's game. Lions roar, let's go roaring into the victories. JK, sad, laughing out loud. Thomas, no one who is a straight thinker thinks we cannot have a good team, but we cannot play with low effort again. No more 4 yards per pass play. Sometimes you got to give credit to the other team. I mean, we can throw it downfield, but if they get picked off 4 or 5 times, should we have taken the check down? That's the tough part for me. I thought you could have had a couple opportunities for sure for some deeper passes, but if you're the quarterback and you don't see it, don't force it because that's probably not going to go well for you. Mary Ducrew and Queens of Lions Talk Live. I'll see you tomorrow. Got another game today. Have a blessed day. Go enjoy that game, and we'll see you in the morning there, Mary. Bo Adorke, I'm happy to help restore your faith here in the Ducrew. 100%, man. Let's all help Adorke reinvigorate her faith in the Lions. Johnny L, bring the toilet paper. We'll do that for Chicago. Phil, like you do, question mark, you spend one time on other teams' chats than you do in the Lions channels. All right, fair enough. Don, Phil, who are you talking to? We'll find out. I'm not 100% sure on that one. JK, people still crying. That's incredible. It happens, man. Hookadoo, see you, Mary. Bring the grit to your grandson's game. Yeah, have a good time at the game. Enjoy it exponentially. Kerry, one job, give golf time for his reads. Yeah, I would say that's part of it. Johnny L, some people are just pretty shallow-minded. All right, Earl, good morning. Coach D and Duke Crew. Good to see you, Earl. How you doing today? Trim Reaper, have a great day. Coach and Ann and Duke Crew. Woo! Back at you. Big Belly Lou, it's our time to beat the Baltimore Ravens. I think we're going to win by 3. Hey, I'll take it. Win by 1, win by 30. I'll take a win no matter what. Johnny O, peace out, gang. See you all tomorrow morning. Let's go, Lions. Oh, yeah, I'll take that. JDC, happy trails. Go Lions, exclamation point, victory. Let's get that win tomorrow. Brent will win the trench war, win the game. I think you are correct there. You control both lines. You got a real good shot. Gary, see you, Johnny L. Dre Day, Thomas, do you realize 4 yards a play means consistent first downs? Sounds like a winning plan mathematically. Yeah, you're not wrong, man. You get 4 yards on 3 straight carries. I mean, you are going to have first downs. Gary, you got it. Brent, Hookadoo. Have a grit-filled day, Johnny L. Reversion of the mean. Expecting to lose is so 2020-ish. It's a new attitude here. I agree with that. I expect to win always. Vernon, I've been a fan since 87, the same year we drafted Jerry Ball. I remember Jerry. Jerry was a good dude, especially to talk to an interview. Derek, we've just got to need a game plan to offset any lingering offensive line issues. Yeah, they'll have some sort of game plan with it. The nice part for everybody watching, I would say, with the Taylor Decker thing is he didn't practice at all this week. So if he doesn't go tomorrow, think about this way. They had 3 or 4 practices to work on whatever they're going to do to replace him with. So it's far better that situation happened than get to Saturday or Sunday and he goes, man, I can't play. The shoulder's messed up, because now you didn't have any time to really prepare for it. So I'm thinking positively here. Gary, remember there's an incoming edge, 31 years old for $1 million. Who's that? I guess I don't know. Bo, happy trails, Duke Crew, all done and dusted until game day. Exclamation point. See you tomorrow. We'll see you then. Michael, thanks, Coach, for another great show. Exclamation point. Woo! No problem, my friend. Kurt Steele, see you guys in 5 minutes over the Boss Up, Ball Out channel. We'll bossing up on the Balling Out over there. Kerry, happy trails. Have a great Saturday. Stay safe. Go Lions. Woo! And back at you. Thomas, Attila, in your take is, we'll find out. Hookadoo, happy trails, Dude Crew, One Pride Worldwide, locked and loaded for a bear hunt tomorrow. Let's get some bear meat with some hot sauce. Coach Rock, same here, Hookadoo. Pat, will you still be doing a show tomorrow morning if you're doing the game? Yes, I'll do both. I enjoy doing both. Off the top, Campbell will get things fixed. We all go through adversity. It's how you get through it and what you do after it that will show who you are. Lions have Lions pride in yourself. There you go. Bob, looks like at least 0-4 record to start the season. We have no chance against the Ravens and the Bears. Wow, Bob, why would you say we have no chance? Man, I think you got a chance every time you step on the field. Thomas, 4 yards in pass plays. Ain't gonna cut it, dang, y'all think. Who knows, man? I've seen a lot of teams dink and dunk, and even a lot of Lions passes last year were short intermediate passes, and the guys got yards after the catch. We'll find out, man, though. Only one way to find out is see the game tomorrow. All right, guys, I'll go ahead and get out of here, get you over to Boss Up, Ball Out, and the rest of your days. If you would be so kind before checking out, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. Take care, be a good human being, do something kind for somebody you don't know, and we'll see you all on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Excuse me, sir, would you... Donations to Reverend Moon? Jews for Jesus?
Read about Jehovah's Witness? How about Buddhism?
Help Jerry's kids? Oh, yeah. Scientology?
Or nuclear power?